Dude, it was such an unforgettable experience. It was so much fun to be out there. And that was like my first experience at a 100-mile race. And we did 4 of them, and it was within what, like 13 weeks?
13 weeks ago.
Yeah, and it was, just to tell people, it was Old Dominion out in Virginia. What was second?
Western States.
Western States.
Yep.
That's the original 100-mile race, right?
Yep.
And then Leadville in Colorado, and then Wasatch in Utah.
Yeah.
4 just beasts of 100-mile marathon or 100-mile ultra marathons.
Yeah.
And you crushed them.
Yeah. No, it was, went into that summer just really, so leading up to it, that was the goal was if I ever got into Western, which eventually you're going to, as long as you keep putting those qualifying races in and apply for the lottery. That was again, just another silly promise I made to myself that when I got into Western, that wouldn't be enough for me. And I needed to try to attempt the Grand Slam. And yeah, just the way that summer just grew and developed throughout, like it just completely blew my mind. Any fantasies I had of what that summer was going to look like was just completely blown out of the water.
Was that the hardest challenge you've done so far, you think?
Putting those 4 together in one summer, yeah, that was without question the hardest thing I've done from a physical standpoint, mental standpoint, testing limits standpoint. Yeah, that was it was a lot. And definitely don't regret it. But I enjoy just being able to focus on, 1, maybe 2 events. I know there's people out there that have done the Grand Slam more than once in like year after year. And I'm just like, holy cow, those are just people cut from a different cloth, I guess. Cause I'm not going to say I couldn't do it, but I don't know. It was just such an experience that, I don't know. I wouldn't want to minimize it again. Like, I don't know. I feel like that was a one and done thing for me. Something that I don't feel I could replicate again.
Yeah, that was, dude, it was so impressive to just see it happen in person. And like, I thought like, towards the end you would slowly kind of fade and like it'd take longer and longer and like you'd be struggling more, but like, no, you never showed. Like that was honestly one of the hardest parts about putting that documentary together was like, you never acted like it hurt or like you never said, this is hard or this sucks or like, why am I doing this? Like never once.
Yeah.
And so it was, maybe out on the trail or in your head, you might've thought that, I don't know, but
sure.
I wasn't able to capture it at least if it did happen. And so I was like, man, how am I going to show the like magnitude of this and show how difficult this actually is? Cause you just made it look so easy.
Yeah. Well, that's something I've thought about and like, it's not, it was hard. Definitely. You definitely don't want to normalize doing something like that because it's not something that a lot of people have done, can do. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, for me, especially that summer, I never lost a sense of why I was doing it. Yeah. So in those dark moments when they did come, like I never had to reach far to find that reason, like that reason wasn't just about me. It was about everything leading up to those races that summer, like for instance, it was 5 years of putting into Western States, like it was not just that summer that was in play. It was, truly the way I look at it, it was truly the whole kind of like upbringing of, doing hard things, growing up outside, doing things in the mountains from a very young age with my family and being able to be there, capture that with my family. Like I said, I never had to reach far for a reason for why I was doing it. It got hard, absolutely. But I never had to think about like, why are you doing this? Like really? It was just, it was there. It was organic. That was what I was supposed to be doing. I truly felt that.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you like that, to put it concisely, I guess, like your reason is just like, it's what you're meant to do. It's what you're supposed to do.
I truly, I feel that way. Absolutely. There's just, it's hard to explain. But yeah, it's just a feeling that I get that when I'm doing those things, those hard things out in the mountains and those places that I love, really digging into that pain cave and just, pushing those limits. It's just something that it just makes me feel like the most alive. I can't explain it any better than that. I just feel different. It feels right. It feels like one of the things I was put on this earth to do.
Yeah, I feel like that's so rare for people to be able to like genuinely say that
Mhm.
whatever thing they're doing in life, they're like, this is what I was meant to do.
Yeah, no, I think one of the harder things is like trying to find and replicate that feeling in other aspects of my life.
Have you ever been able to?
Close. I've been close with other things for sure. Like with coaching, for example, that's another thing that, I enjoy doing with race directing, with doing the night crawler, helping with the skunk hollow sneaker chase and that kind of stuff. But it's something that's close. That's a way for me to give back. And that's something that I definitely have a passion for. And then also the work that I do, being able to help people from a training aspect. I've always loved and had a passion for helping people. And those have gotten me close, but never quite like being in those moments, having those experiences with myself, with other people, with other like-minded people, doing those hard things, like in those awesome places. I mean, like for example, at Bighorn this year, I mean, just like, again, like I've done that race 6 times now. And those moments, those high moments, those low moments, they've been different every single year. But like, holy cow, just to keep yourself present and in that moment at night, looking up, there wasn't a moon, millions of stars. Just, I can't tell you how many times I just stopped, like, and just looked up in the sky and just like, was just like, holy cow, how special is this to be able to be doing this right now? Like, not thinking about the future, not thinking about things that have happened, just like truly immersing yourself in that moment and just being like, holy cow, this is special. Yeah, those moments are unexplainable.
Was there like a moment where you realized that running was your passion, like this was your calling, or has it been like a slow build up over time?
It's interesting, my kind of journey towards ultra running, and just how that has developed and grown. Because growing up, I mean, running was very much, I mean, I've always enjoyed doing like cardio type things, like I grew up running, grew up playing soccer, grew up cross country skiing. But running for me, like from a high school age, middle school and high school, it was used as a way for me to stay in shape for skiing and soccer. Those were my 2 big things. Growing up was Nordic skiing and soccer. And then I don't know exactly, honestly, what it was with ultra running. I think a big part of it was helping, crewing, pacing my brother John at Leadville in 2014 and 15. I mean, at that point I had done, a couple 50Ks, some 30Ks, that kind of thing. But like, there wasn't like a thing that had just grabbed me and been like, yep, this is what you need to do.
How old were you when you did that, the first?
I think my first 50K was either 2011 or 2012. I think it might have been 2012 was my first 50K. 2011 was my first 30K at Bighorn, as I mentioned.
So you were like mid 20s,
Yep.
because you're 37
Yep.
now.
Yep, mid 20s. So yeah, I think I truly was, and I think people who've obviously seen the documentary, they'll it's kind of just a repeat of that. Like 2014 and 15 at Leadville with my brother, witnessing my brother, who'd always has been that guy for me. Like anything we ever did growing up, like we did because of my brother. Like in the sports world, like he ran cross country, so we ran cross country. He cross country skied, so we cross country skied. He played soccer, so we played soccer. He did tracks. I mean, like literally that was kind of just how we did things, and it was always with the support of our family. And so, yeah, witnessing him at 2014, in 2014 and 15 at Leadville, you know, burying himself in that pain cave, witnessing from a pacer standpoint, like, holy crap, this is something that I, you know, like this is going to be a thing for me. I had no idea at the time that it was going to be like the thing that it is now, but like I knew that that was kind of the door that was opening into a lot of unknowns, and that was something that a door that I felt like I needed to walk through for sure.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's always been, you know, you've always been doing stuff with family. So that's always been a big part. Did you, before you got into trail running and all this, like, did you know what you wanted to do with your life? Like, did you have like any clear idea?
Not truly, honestly. That's always kind of been a moving target a little bit, I would say, and I think that kind of goes well with kind of the ultra running thing that I've found. Not that you don't need to have plans and that kind of stuff to do these types of things, but like I said earlier, I've always known and I always knew that helping people was going to be a thing for me. Be it teaching like I had done, or, you know, training like I'm doing now, coaching, like that has always been a passion for me, has been helping people push those limits, test those limits for themselves, just kind of reach out, seek that best version of themselves. That's always something that I've sought out for myself. And if I can be any kind of catalyst for anybody else to do that for themselves, I was going to do it. So as far as like landing on like a career and that kind of thing, like not specifically, but I knew that that was a thing that I was another thing I was put on this earth to do, was to help people.
That's awesome.
And so, yeah, that's,
well, you're definitely doing that.
That's kind of been my MO, and that's what I continue to do and I continue to love. So
dude, I can't tell you how big of an inspiration you have been to me. Like, I always knew I wanted to maybe do 100 miles or whatever. Like, and I'm like, maybe I should one day. I don't know. But after seeing you at the Grand Slam and like just hearing more about your story, and like, it's just so inspiring that you're making me want to go out and do stuff.
Sure.
And you made me sign up for Bighorn. Or you didn't make me, but you inspired me to sign up for Bighorn last year. And now I'm hooked. I'm like, I just want to come back to Wyoming every single summer and do one of the distances, eventually do 100.
Yeah.
So you're definitely right on track with that idea of just inspiring people and helping people.